We are currently experiencing one of the biggest global health pandemics that many of us will see in our lifetimes. And not only has this posed a threat to our health and our livelihoods, but it's also affected the way we live in a very short space of time, with social distancing being introduced, self-isolation, and basically being forced to live in a state of lockdown. And this social disruption has also had an effect on the global economy, and for many of us, affecting our jobs, the way we work, and the way we live our day-to-day lives. We are living in an extremely difficult time. There's no denying that. But at the end of the day, the only thing we have control over is what we choose to do, the actions that we choose to take, and how we choose to think in a time of such uncertainty. My hope in creating this video is that it will encourage some of you to see this time as an opportunity to see what the possibilities are. You know, what actions can you be taking now in order to have some kind of positive outcome when we come out of the other side of what is such a difficult time for so many people around the world. First of all, I want to start by saying that my heart and my thoughts go out to all those people around the world who have been impacted by coronavirus, whether it be personally or who have had a friend or a family member affected. I have been very fortunate in that I haven't been affected and I don't know anyone who has, but I know that this virus has really impacted thousands of people around the globe. So to all those who have been impacted, my heart and my thoughts are with you. Right now, life as we know it is changing very rapidly. Here in Australia, the government is announcing new measures to adhere to on almost a daily basis. And this is drastically transforming our lives in a very, very short space of time. A couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in a cafe working, and now that isn't even an option anymore. And as coronavirus spreads, with a number of measures put into place in an effort to contain it, in Australia alone in the last few weeks, we've seen so many changes and a lot of our frontline workers have been heavily impacted. Our airlines alone have been forced to stand down close to 100,000 of their employees because no one is traveling at the moment. And with so many people being heavily encouraged to stay at home for any reason other than going out for essentials, thousands and thousands of brick and mortar businesses have had to close their doors and let their staff members go. And we've seen so many of our casual workforce also heavily impacted and left with no benefits or entitlements and no backup plan. For much of the population, both here and around the world, the effects of what has been put into place out of necessity has been financially devastating. And for many, the future holds a lot of uncertainty and a lot of insecurity. But with uncertainty comes opportunity, if you can find a way to see it like that. And I know for many of us that will be really, really hard at the moment. But if you can find a way to see uncertainty as possibility, then it really changes the way that you look at the future and the way you feel about what's to come. Having a fresh perspective can really change the way you think and the way you feel about what's ahead of you. And it can really open your eyes and bring new awareness to some opportunities that are right in front of you that you might not have realized before. If you can choose to see the world from that place and have that perspective, then the sky really is the limit. So with most of us hopefully spending a lot of time at home, whether it be for self-isolation or worst case you've been let go from your job, or if you're lucky enough to have a job that allows you to work from home, it's likely that you'll have a bit more time back in your schedule that you'll save by simply not having to leave the house every single day. And I just want to highlight that last point, that a lot of the jobs, the paid employment jobs that people are still able to do, are jobs that are office-based and that you can do online and you can perform pretty much from home. I read an article on Forbes the other day that said that tech giants along the likes of Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and even Netflix have a massive advantage because they actually have the funds and the infrastructure to outlast this outbreak, and that Amazon is actually now hiring more people because of the increased demand of people shopping and ordering things that they need online. If you have the ability to work from home, then you can effectively work, self-isolate, and get paid. And in a time like this, that's a huge advantage. So how can you use this time as an opportunity and see the silver lining around this dark and stormy cloud that is hanging above all of our heads? What actions can you take which will ensure a positive outcome once the end of all this craziness is over and life is somewhat back to normal? Well, if you work in hospitality or tourism, there's a high chance that your job has been affected with the current events that are going on. So you might be thinking to change industries and really safeguard yourself against something happening similar to this in the future by learning more about how to work online and leveraging the power of the internet. So that might look like taking a course to brush up on your computer skills, or really just doing some tutorials to improve on your administrative skills. Maybe you have been really wanting to do some training which qualifies you to coach or teach someone else, but you just have not had the time to do it. Well, now is the perfect time. And again, if you can do that online through webinars like virtual meetups, like a lot of people are doing now with Zoom calls and Skype and all the rest of the technology that's available to you, then you're already putting yourself ahead of the rest of the pack. Or maybe you haven't been affected at all and you already have a job which allows you the flexibility to work from home and still earn an income. But you might be seeing everyone else out there and what they're going through, and you might think that you want to create some extra financial security for yourself. Why not take a course in online trading or investing? The fact is, there are an abundance of courses that you can take online to learn how to work online. Anything from coding to calligraphy. But like anything, it's really important to do your due diligence and make sure that the course that you're doing is coming from an accredited source and from someone who has either done it before or really knows what they're talking about or is qualified in the area that you're looking to learn in. The world is changing, and it's really likely that after a global pandemic like coronavirus, a lot of the change that we are experiencing now will have a profound influence and effect on the way we live going forward. So don't let this time go to waste. Use it as an opportunity to think outside of the box about where you are and where you want to be. And take some steps to create your own security so you won't be in a situation where you're financially disadvantaged should anything this life-changing happen again in the future. If you found this video helpful, then give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every week. And drop a comment below and let me know what you're planning to use this time for. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.